lockdown happened, so everything remains closed. But as every classes and everything is going on online platform, so we have decided to arrange online classes in a week, 1 hour. In this class, we can talk about spiritual things. For that reason, we have created a WhatsApp group and we have decided to invite everybody. So we are very glad for having you in this Pamukani Manashru among us. So we'd like to extend a special welcome, special thanks to Pamukani Manashru. So many of them you don't know about him. Is from ISKCON Mayapur Institute, West Bengal, Navadip. So after at the first time we can know about him more. So we request all of you please stay connected with the class and hope you all are enjoying enjoy this class. Okay. And so I want to hand over the mic to another part to the you can start.
Okay, I hope everybody could hear him. So, yeah, I would like to hear from others also as well. If you say something, what is your name and which place you are from, basically.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah, Hare Krishna.
I'm Partho Adhikari from Bangladesh.
Okay, which place in Bangladesh?
Jhinaidah.
Jhinaidah. Okay, very good.
Yeah.
Thank you to have you.
Yeah. So, as you know that we are from all same year and same university, and especially Joy proposed this idea when college was going. So suddenly lockdown came, so we thought maybe we can create a WhatsApp group so weekly, so we can we can invite someone. So as Joy know you already, so you are guiding us through this journey. Whatever we'll learn here, and we'll try to utilize it here. So that's all.
Yeah, nice to hear from you. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. My name is Sai Raghav. I am from India, Andhra Pradesh, from Kurnool district. I here to speak something from beyond behalf of Joy. Joy is a good person, and he used to turn all his friends towards some like motivator. He's like a motivator, and he used to turn all the students to his way, and his opinion is good, and we need to follow him. And we are all friends from Weltech University, Chennai, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay. Who is next? You can unmute yourself and speak.
Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Sir, it's me Gunjan from Nepal, and
okay.
I'm also a student of Heltech. My friend Partho sent me a group link, so I was joined to the group, and I was lucky to hear from you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next. You can be quick, and just speak it out. Shiv Sharma. I'm seeing someone. Shiv Sharma. Maybe you can do.
Yes, sir. As you know that I'm Shiva, my full name is Shivanshu Sharma. I am from Delhi. basically my right now I'm living in Port Blair, and my friend Partho gave me this group link to, we always me and Partho always used to talk about this this all kinds of Hindu this kind of stuffs. So he gave me this group link, and I joined through this.
Yeah, thank you very much. Vaishnav. Okay, I'm seeing someone name is Vaishnav. Maybe you can speak.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Mm. Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Yes, please. You got muted again. Are everyone clear about what I'm asking? You just
Yeah.
introduce
Yes,
yourself.
I am able to.
Yeah.
I'm Vaishnu. I'm studying BTech first year, BTech second year, triple E in BTech second year in Veltech University.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're basically from which place in India?
In Andhra Pradesh.
Andhra Pradesh. Great. Great. Nice to hear from you. Then who else can speak? Shyam Shah. Someone I'm seeing.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
It's me, Shyam Kumar Shah from Nepal.
Great.
And today I am very happy to join in this meeting. And I think today night, Sri Krishna Janma Chatiyar, we celebrated. And I'm going to conduct this type of meeting. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Okay, thank you. Who else is remaining here?
Hare Krishna, myself, Jnana Prakash. I'm from Andhra Pradesh, India, Chittor district. I'm friend of Joy. He's my best friend and he's my roommate. He told me about this and that's why I'm joining roommate. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. There is someone, Srikant Ganeshan. You can speak to.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. I'm Sripadi Achyuta. I'm a practice devotee from Perambur, Chennai.
Hare Krishna.
So I know Joy. He invited me to this program.
Nice.
I'm practicing here.
Thank you, bro. Nice to have you here.
Hare Krishna.
Hari Om Patel.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Can I speak in Hindi?
Yeah, I can speak in Hindi as well.
एक बार फिर सबको हरे कृष्णा मेरी तरफ से।
हरे कृष्णा।
इंग्लिश में इसलिए नहीं बोलना चाहता कि जो बात हिंदी में है, हिंदी में मैं समझा सकता हूँ, शायद मैं इंग्लिश में नहीं बोल सकता, इसलिए एक प्रकार का ये जो हम लोग का समिति बना हुआ है बहुत ही अच्छा है, जो ग्रुप हम लोग का है। आजकल देखा जाए तो हम लोग हिंदुत्व से, हिंदू लोग बहुत पीछे हैं, हिंदुत्व के बारे में जानना चाहिए आजकल के बच्चों को, गार्जियन लोगों को, उससे बहुत ज्यादा ही पीछे हैं हम लोग, पता ही नहीं रहता है। इसीलिए हम लोग को ये बना हुआ है, बहुत ही अच्छा है, इससे हम लोग कुछ सीख भी सकते हैं, पता लग सकता है। जितना बात कृष्णा जी बोले हैं अर्जुन को, उतना तो नहीं, 1% भी उसका हम लोग को पता लग जाएगा तो हम लोग अपना जीवन सुधार सकते हैं। सब कुछ पढ़ाई लिखाई में नहीं रखा है, हिंदुत्व और ये सब में करने से भी बहुत अच्छा लगता है। यही बोलना चाहता हूँ। हरे कृष्ण।
हरे कृष्ण। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद आपको। ओके, who else is remaining? Sujit, he just joined now. You can speak, you can turn your mic on and you can introduce yourself, your name and where are you from.
Hello Guruji. My name is Sujit. I'm from Nepal.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So I hope we heard from all of you. So I thought maybe we'll keep it like interactive. We'll speak with each other but looks like this internet is also not so good supporting us, and like all of us are different places. So okay, uh, we'll go ahead. We'll discuss, and if you have question, you can ask also in between. Chat box is there. You can write up also, and or you can raise your hand. In I hope you know that in Zoom there is a system of hand raise. You can click on your name somewhere that near that is there on that participant panel, and you can raise hand. Then we can give you a chance to speak. You can ask questions also. Okay. So basically, when Joy told me about this, I said, okay, we can have some classes. So then I thought, okay, one thing is that we can have some random classes. We can discuss something. I can answer some. I can try my best to answer some of your questions, and about some spiritual topic, something like that. Go ahead. But then I thought that okay, fine, we'll discuss something, and something you remember, something you forget, whatever till whatever extent you can take in, or something is missing. So better we go in a particular track, in a particular based on a particular text. So in that way, what will happen? We'll read it also, we'll hear about it also, and we'll also participate in this. So basically, my plan is we have different books in our International Society for Krishna Consciousness, written by our founder Acharya, His Divine Grace, Srila Abhay Charanaravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, is the founder Acharya of our society. And let me tell you a brief about him. He was born in the year of 1896 in Calcutta. 1896 in Calcutta, he was born in India, in Calcutta. So he was born and brought up here only, and then he was a married man. So his family was Vaishnava, Gaudiya Vaishnava, not Gaudiya Vaishnava exactly, but in that they were Vaishnavas. They're practicing Vaishnavas, following Vaishnavism, worshippers of Vishnu and Krishna. So his father was devoted to God. His father always wanted him to also be a devoted servant of God. So then he studied in Scottish Church University in Calcutta, and then he got married. He was also doing his job in one of the pharmaceutical industry. He was handling actually, basically he was doing a business only. He was handling as a branch manager of that. Then one fine day, one of his school friends came to him. Actually, what happened? His father, this Prabhupada's father, Gaur Mohan, there was, as you said, that nice, devoted personality, religious personality. So in his childhood, Srila Prabhupada saw that his father would invite lots of sadhus in his house. First of all, I hope that all of you can hear me. I am audible nicely and you can understand me also, I hope and pray. So
yes, bro, you're very clear.
Okay, thank you very much for confirming. So Srila Prabhupada's father would invite lots of sadhus, spiritual saints, or spiritual religious personalities in the house. He would host them, serve them, feed them nicely, give some gift also as well. But all of them were not sadhus, saints. They are swindlers also. Some bogus religious personalities also were there. A little Prabhupada, small boy, this Abhay, his name was Abhay, he saw them. And he was not much impressed with them. All these people are coming, what is this? Just like a typical thing, policemen are not up to the mark always. Government, police, or doctors, people keep on criticizing them. There are lots of jokes and memes on the doctors and polices, corrupt police officers and doctors like this. So like lots of sadhus are also there. Okay, somebody wrote down something. Instead of using laptop, you can use phone because your voice is breaking. Is it so? If I use phone, would it help? What do others think? Should I turn my laptop off and go into phone?
It's okay.
Yes, sir, your voice is breaking.
Voice is breaking. So should I turn on
Yes,
my
sir.
laptop and go to phone?
Yes, sir, you can switch back to your phone because I guess the network connectivity is poor over there. That's why.
phone. Okay, so I think I can start. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So can you hear me now from my phone?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Is it better?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Hare Krishna. So Srila Prabhupada, he saw all those bogus sadhus personalities. Means they were in the garb of sadhus, in a dress of sadhus, but actually their practices were not so much Atputa Marputa sadhus. So he was not impressed much. So he got that negative impression about the sadhu since childhood. So one day when he was working in his office, suddenly his college friend or school friend also, that person came and asked him that, Abhay, why don't you come with me? Why? So there is a particular sadhu on Ultadanga junction in Calcutta. He got a mutt, a temple, and he is giving some spiritual discourses, classes, talks there. I have seen all of them. I have seen many of such sadhus, so-called spiritual personalities. I am not at all impressed with them, not much. But his friend insisted that please come with me, because in our friend circle, you are the one who is the most spiritual and religious since beginning, and you know many of the things, many of the philosophy, many of the spiritual truths. You already know them. So I want you to come with me and confirm that whether this person is okay or not. You can do it. Please come, just for some time, few minutes. That's all. Just cross the road on the other side of the road. He's there. So Abhay said, okay, let's go. So Abhay came, and the sadhu, his name was Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So he was giving class. Many people in the audience were there giving class. So Abhay came, young man. Abhay came, and Abhay Charan De, his name was. He came and he offered his obeisances, Dandavat Pranam. As soon as he stood up, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur looked at him and said him that, oh, you are a young man. Why don't you preach the message of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu all over the world? So it was a shock. First of all, it was first impression itself. It was a shocking thing for Abhay. He has met many of the sadhus. Many said many things to him, but none of them told him, preach the message of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So then he was impressed at the first point itself, because he liked Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I will talk about Mahaprabhu also later. So then he argued back. Abhay argued back that currently we are under the capture of the British government, British Raj. The Britishers, they are ruling us, and all this Swadesh Andolan was going on, protest was going on against the Britishers and all. So whole country is agitated now currently at that time. It was 1922. 1922 they met. This meeting, particular meeting is there. So shouldn't we wait till our country becomes independent? After that we can go and preach. We can just wait. Let our country be independent first. Then we will go and preach about Mahaprabhu's message. When the whole country is dependent and captured and tortured and in many ways they are being harassed by the Britishers. Who will listen this message of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu now? Who will listen to it? Everybody is agitated now. So then Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur looked at him, that Abhay, young man, and told him that, see, the message of Lord Chaitanya cannot wait for any particular condition, circumstances, surroundings, environment. This is eternal. Something which is eternal cannot wait for the external or the temporary things, petty things, material things. The material things can wait for the eternal, but the eternal cannot wait for the material. And you are thinking that, okay, if our country becomes independent, then we will preach the message of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then people will come and listen to us. But actually, it's not like this. The king will change, but the politics, that Rajniti, what we say, will not change. Raj will change, but Rajniti will not change. So therefore, we cannot wait for it. This event, in fact, this is the most urgent emergency situation we need. Prabhupada, Abhay was trying to argue that, okay, this is an emergency situation. Let this emergency situation pass, then we will talk about Mahaprabhu. Then Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, no. The lack of Krishna consciousness, lack of spreading the message of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is itself is the emergency. This is the root cause of the emergency. Because we are not able to spread this message of Mahaprabhu, the spiritual truth, therefore, all these emergency situations are arising. Sabhai was very much convinced. And that day itself, he decided in his heart that this personality is going to be my spiritual master. He is going to be my spiritual master. And yeah, afterwards, he took initiation from this personality, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, as he instructed Abhay in his first meeting itself, that you are young and educated man of India. This is your duty to preach the culture of India, the culture of the message of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, tradition of real Bharat throughout the world. And this young man Abhay, he took this instruction as his life and soul, his mission of life. And later on, at the age of 70, he took sannyas earlier only. At the age of 70, he went to West America, and he established the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, and he preached all over the world. And now currently we have this society movement, more than 500 temples all over the world, more than 1,000 preaching centers all over the world, more than lakhs of devotees, members all over the world. And places like we are discussing so many things about China. We are discussing so many like Chinese or whatever. But actually, yeah, the fight between Chinese and India is going on, or whatever, or like other countries. But actually, the message of Krishna consciousness is being spread in China also, Pakistan also, Africa also. So, point is that those people, like the Chinese we tell, like coronavirus, COVID came from like eating bats, as we say. So such heinous acts of eating bats. It is said that everything, whatever flies on the sky, the Chinese eat. And everything, whichever swims in the water, they eat. Except the sheep. Everything, whatever flies on the sky, other than the airplane, they eat everything. All the birds, beasts, everything. And everything in the water, other than the boat and ships, they eat. All the creatures, lizards, snakes, insects, they eat deliciously. Big feast. So those people also, they are now chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. They are also wearing dhoti kurta. Many of us in Indians, we feel ashamed, embarrassed to wear dhoti kurta, put on tilak, or have this kanchi mala and all this, our Gaudiya culture, our traditional culture of India, written India. Shikha. First time I remember when I came and I went to Allahabad. Like I stay in Bengal, here it's not common having shikha and all. The first time I went to Allahabad, I stepped out from the train station. I was alone at that time. And I wanted to go to our ISKCON temple. I didn't know I just had the address, but I didn't know how to go. So as soon as I got down from the train, I saw one person with shikha, in his bag. So I thought he's ISKCON devotee. I said, Hare Krishna Prabhu, how are you? Hare Krishna Prabhu, please. He looked at me very strangely. He said, what are you saying? Hare Krishna Prabhu, Hare Krishna. He didn't know. So I saw another person also with shikha. I said, Hare Krishna. I said, I saw 3-4 persons around me with the shikha, but none of them could understand what I am saying. So then I saw many people. Then I understood, okay, maybe might be it's common thing here. Then I found one person. I asked him, I want to go to ISKCON temple. No, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama temple. Yeah, go to there. Go to the outside, catch a toto or taxi. Ask him Hare Krishna, Hare Rama temple to take you. I went to temple and I asked a devotee, what is this? I saw many 3-4 persons with shikha, but I asked them, talked with them. They didn't understand what I am telling. Hare Krishna ISKCON temple. Then that person said, actually here many other people have shikha by default. They have it. This is the culture. This is the culture coming down from the Vedas, Vedic scriptures. So we feel ashamed and embarrassed. Our girls, women, they feel embarrassed to wear sari and all. But this Chinese, Japanese, African, all the Europeans, Americans, they are coming and wearing sari, dhoti, kurta, tilak, mala, everything. There is a nice story of Srila Prabhupada when he went to Africa. He went to Africa for preaching and he was giving a discourse, spiritual talk. And the Africans, I think in Ghana or Kenya, or Nigeria or Kenya, one of the place, something like that. In one of the remote place, he went there to give a program, spiritual talk. And all these Africans, they sat in front of him. They were listening to him. The message of Krishna consciousness. And suddenly some flies were flying. Flies and insect mosquitoes were flying. So one man, African, he just caught it, grabbed it and ate it. So Srila Prabhupada told that we have 5 rules and regulations in our society. 5 things. No meat eating, no gambling, no intoxications, no illicit sex, and the 5th one is no eating mosquitoes, flies. The 5th point. So now all of us are here attending in this, listening to it. Do we need to be told that don't eat flies? Have you heard even once anybody told you that don't eat flies, don't eat snakes? No, it's common. Those people, just imagine what kind of consciousness they have. From that background they are coming, and they are giving up that habit of eating insects and all these things. Barbaric things. Many of the barbaric cultures are there throughout the world. And many of the people, they are giving it up, coming to Krishna consciousness, and they're practicing it. They're full vegetarian now. They chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, they have tilak, mala and all these things. So this is the magic of Krishna consciousness all over the world, which this Srila Prabhupada has done. So we Indians, we are just sitting here, we are doing our thing, but we don't know what is going on. So actually what happened, Srila Prabhupada, he tried to preach in India before going to America. He was printing some back-to-bottom magazines. He printed some books, Srimad Bhagavatam. He was trying to go to door and meet some people that please take up Krishna consciousness, chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. But many of the people were not taking him seriously. So he went to West America. He established ISKCON there, International Society for Krishna Consciousness there. Then he came back after 1 or 2 years in India with his foreign American disciples. Then these Indians saw that, okay, what is this? This is our culture, our thing. We haven't done it. We haven't accepted it. These foreigners, white-skinned Americans, they are accepting it. They are chanting and jumping and dancing very happily. What is this? So many of the Indians, initially they thought that maybe ISKCON is these are some American agents, CIA agents or something like this. Lots of doubts were there. Gradually these things got clarified and all. So Srila Prabhupada, he wrote lots of books and he preached all over the world, and we have lots of centers there and people are coming and practicing. So I stay in Sridham Mayapur, which is situated in West Bengal, Navadvip Nadia. This is Mayapur Dham. This is the international headquarters of ISKCON. But I am staying here. This is the international headquarters of ISKCON, and people stay here. Many of the people are there from. So we have around 5,000 to 6,000 members, community members, staying in Mayapur. Devotee community, large community, 5,000 to 6,000 members are there, and they are from all over the world, from different places of the world. They are coming here and practicing Krishna consciousness happily. So all of you are welcome to visit Sridham Mayapur. Of course, after this Corona and COVID gets over. So, as Srila Prabhupada would say, we have UNICEF and UNESCO, the international that organization and all. They want universal brotherhood. They claim that we stand for universal brotherhood and all. But what kind of brotherhood are going on? Fighting with each other, different things. But in our Krishna consciousness movement society, we have Indians, we have Chinese, we have Russian, we have Japanese, we have American, African, all kind of people are here. They are holding hand in hand. They are chanting the name of God. They are practicing Krishna consciousness happily. All kinds of people are there. So we thought, we decided today we will do the introductory session here to get introduced to all of you. And I know some of you have joined now, so we'll get to know from you later. So what I'm thinking is that we'll follow one of the book of Srila Prabhupada. There are lots of books. I hope you can see this particular screen, what I am showing you, trying to show you. You can go to this. I will share this link with you. www.vedaves.io. This is the website, Bhaktivedanta Vedaves. So this is the name, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. And yeah, so he wrote many books. So once you come in this website, there are books are there. You click all books, and you get these books. So Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is, Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Purana, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishna, Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Science of Self-Realization, Srila Prabhupada Lilamrita. Yeah, this is the biography of him, the life sketch of him, what he did. So many of us, we like to hear about great personalities. People who rags to riches, we call rags to riches. Those who are some poverty stricken and they did many miraculous things, of course, material, financially. So Srila Prabhupada, what he did from spiritual perspective was miracle. One person asked Srila Prabhupada in America, in West. One reporter asked him that you are an Indian Swami, Indian Sadhu. He said, okay, yes. So in America, lots of Indian sadhus come here and they show some magic, some mystic potency. They can create something. They can bring out some apple or something different kind of magic, mystic potencies they have. So why don't you show me something magical thing, miracle? Srila Prabhupada said, I came to your country just with 40 rupees, Indian rupees, 40 rupees, which had actually, who didn't have any vote in America at the time, not much. Practically didn't have anything. So he said, I just came here with this 40 rupees and now within 1-2 years, I have in your country and all over the world, crores of dollars owed property is content all over the world. Crores and billions of rupees owed. So do you require more magic to see? Then that reporter thought and said, yeah, you are true. This is indeed magical, indeed miraculous. So how he did, what he did, the person, I hope you heard about Dr. Vivek Bindra. So he recently made a video about Srila Prabhupada. He said that the person who established 12 temples in Pakistan, he made a movie. The person who built 12 temples in Pakistan, Srila Prabhupada, when he was in Delhi, he was giving a Pandal program, big Pandal program was going on. Suddenly one person, I'm not sure, either in Delhi or some other place in India. In India, one of the places, he was giving a big talk, program was going on. Suddenly one person stood up and he said that, oh, Swamiji, you are giving big talk here in India. If you have courage, if you have ability, go to Pakistan and preach. Go to Pakistan and preach. Prabhupada said that, are you challenging me? I said, yes, okay, I will accept your challenge. Then he sent one of his disciples to Pakistan, go and preach, and like that, history goes there. So now we have more around 12 temples in Pakistan itself. In Saudi Arabia and different places, preaching is going on. In Afghanistan and all, preaching is, Krishna consciousness preaching is going on. So how did this personality did all these things? What was his secret of success? We like to hear about great personalities, their lifestyle, their determination, and their skills, their qualities, characteristics, nature, happy daily routine, habits. What do they do? What did they do? Secret of success. So you can go in this book, and there are okay, 2 volumes there. So you can read them. The biography of Srila Prabhupada, it's called Srila Prabhupada Lilamrita. You can know about him, what he did, how he did. So yeah, many other books are there. So we thought of one particular book is there called Beyond Birth and Death. It's a short book, short and sweet, small and sweet book. We thought that we will take up this book as our textbook, and based on this, we will have our this 5-6 session program. So today we are having an introductory session. So next consecutive 5 Sundays, we will have our further sessions, and based on these 5 chapters, we will discuss one by one. So I'll share this link with you in WhatsApp. So what you have to do is, before the class, next Sunday, we will have a class on chapter 1. Chapter 1, we are not these bodies. Before next Sunday, you are supposed to read this chapter. It's not that big, a small chapter only, not that big. Maybe it will be 2 or 3 or 4 pages, that's all. Throughout this week, you should just read this chapter. And we'll have some quizzes also based on this, some MCQs, some assessment, question answers. And I will send you during the middle of the week. MCQ, Google, it will be in the form of Google form. You can just multiple choose questions will be there, answers will be there. You just tick mark like this. And based on this chapter only. So what will happen, what will help? It's like us that, see, I can just talk, many of the things I will talk and go, and many of the things you will take in, many of the things you may miss, you may understand, may not understand. You may forget also that. So this is a textbook. This great personality, Srila Prabhupada, spiritual saint, he wrote this book. So which has a great potency, his words, has great potency, spiritual talks, truths. So we read them, try to understand them, try to realize and contemplate on this each and every sentences. And based on that, you can ask questions to me in the classes also. I will clarify the doubts, and I will also discuss about the points what the concept were discussed. So I hope I am clear. You are supposed to read this chapter, this entire chapter, which is not that big. Yeah, only this much. And maybe by Tuesday or Wednesday, I will send you a questionnaire, Google form link in the WhatsApp group. You have to go and answer those, usually based on this chapter only. And based on this chapter, you can ask me questions in the next session, next class, we'll clarify them. And so, similarly, before the next Sunday, next to next Sunday, we'll have chapter 2, chapter 3 like this. For each chapter, you should read it before the class during the week, and we'll send you some questionnaires. I hope I am clear about this. So now, if you have any questions, you can ask me. But before that, I would like to mention one point, is that, see, as we are youth of India, and many of the things we are hearing, like recently Ram Mandir, foundation ceremony, coronation ceremony was there, and India, China, this coronavirus, all this. We are going through a very peculiar situation currently, 2020. We hope it ends soon. The year 2020 is going through a very lots of disasters or catastrophes are happening throughout the world. People are getting depressed, suicidal case. Many of the things are increasing like anything. Bollywood celebrities are committing suicide and all. So all these things should, if we are intelligent enough, then all these things should automatically and naturally, all the situations, peculiar and difficult situations of this current world should give birth to some important questions of life to us. We should think all these things, that who am I? What am I doing here? What is the goal of life? Why am I rich and my neighbor is poor? Or why my neighbor is rich and I am poor? I was born poor. How come my friend, he's so intelligent, or he's so like, he got a very good background, I got very poor background, or I got very good background, he got very bad background? Or how come a small child took birth in this earth and got handicapped, or within short time he died? We say that somebody, that they were born with a golden spoon. Golden boy kissed by God. They could tell one concept in English. Golden boy kissed by God. Somebody is like this. Everything that God got in life. Rich parents, rich property, and good education. They got physical beauty, got good talent, everything they got. You name it, they have it. Everything they got. Money, no scarcity of money, no scarcity of wealth or fame, popularity or opulence. Nothing they lack. On the other hand, some other people, they just don't have anything in life. Whatever they do, they're so unfortunate, unlucky people. So why it is so? What's the reason of this? Why is God so cruel? A good man who is very good character, who is having a good character, and he doesn't do any harm to anybody else. He's unlucky. He's defeated in his life at various steps. On the other hand, some other people, those who are corrupted, they are always flourishing. Why does this happen? China, America, India. Why are people killing each other? In Ladakh or this on the border, India, China, or some soldiers got died. Why all the cruelty comes? Why people suffer so much? So these are the very important questions which your engineering textbook cannot answer you. Your medical textbooks cannot answer you. Or none of the universities, or none of the medical science, or any of the thing, material sciences or material knowledge of this world cannot answer to us these important questions. There is something called beyond life. There's something called beyond our conception. There's something called beyond our perspective, beyond our eyesight. What are those? So what are those perspectives that we need to develop? For example, suppose, let's see, okay, Shivangshu Sharma, you are there. Can you unmute yourself?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So suppose after the end of this class, or after the end of this course, 5-6 session course, I ask you that can you give me your Google Pay or Paytm numbers? All of you gave me Paytm numbers, and I told all of you that okay, I am giving some token of gift to all of you. So Shivangshu Sharma, I transferred 500 rupees in your Paytm account. How will you feel? Genuinely, how will you feel?
I'll feel great.
Yeah, you'll feel great. Okay, I forgot about 500. I attended in this class, and rather on top of it, I got paid. Oh, yeah, nice gift. Fine. So what will you plan with this 500 rupees?
Pardon?
what will you plan? How will you spend this 500 rupees? Of course, you can make some plans. Okay, I can buy this, I can buy that. Different things you can plan. So you will be happy. You'll feel great. Oh, as you said. So now, then you called your friend Sai Raghav. That hey, Sai Raghav, you know, these people are not so bad. We had to tolerate them for 6 days, but now it paid it off. I got 500 rupees. He transferred 500 on my account. Great. So then your friend Sai Raghav told you that you got 500? So yes. How come? Then you said, no, why? What happened? So Sai Raghav told you that actually I got 2000 in my account. Then you called your friend Partha and called, hey Partha, how much you got in your account? He said 2000. Then you call your friend Joy or Sujit. How much did you get? 2000. All of your friends got 2000 each. Only you got 500. Now how do you feel?
Now I'll feel bad.
Why?
Because I'm not happy with the money I'm having. I'm more concerned what others are having.
Yeah. I haven't taken the money back from you. Have I taken the money back from you? I have
No,
given you 500. So you have got 500. It's not like that I have taken it back from you. No, I have given you 500. This amount of 500 made you happy 5 minutes back. Now after 5 minutes, once you made phone call to all of your friends and you came to know that they got 2000, you only got 500, you became unhappy. So now where does the happiness lie in? The 500, 2000, or where is it? Where is happiness? So this is the point, that we compare with each other and then we think of being happy. Another example, let me give. Suppose one of you have your brand new iPhone 11 Pro, you bought it, you got gifted, and you are staying in the hostel. So you kept the phone on your table and went to washroom. And once you came out of washroom, you saw that the screen of your iPhone 11, just brand new, you just bought it from the market. Brand new, fresh, iPhone 11 Pro, what you kept on your table, it's broken. Screen is broken, glasses of all is broken. So how, just imagine the situation. How will you feel? Oh, who did it? What happened? No, like let me ask you, for example, this, Shivanshu Sharma only. How will you feel? Imagine you bought a brand new iPhone, you kept on your table, you went to washroom, came back and saw your brand new iPhone is broken. At that point of time, what will you do, or how will you feel?
At first, I'll feel shocked, and then I'll get angry and trying to find out who did this, and then you know.
Yeah. So now, then you become so angry. You are screaming. You're maybe screaming, crying, whatever you are doing. So now you find out that actually your friends are doing prank with you. It's a dummy iPhone 11 Pro which was broken. They kept on the table. Your phone is kept intact. Now how will you feel?
I really don't know how to answer this.
Yeah. Of course you will feel relieved, isn't it? Okay, fine. Thank God, at least my one is intact, isn't it? So
Yeah,
now,
at some point of time, I'll still be angry.
Yeah, of course, still be angry. But this thing goes on between friends. They make pranks on each other. All this thing goes on. So even if you become angry, you can't do anything. Friends are doing pranks with each other, whatever. So I hope in hostels on this thing goes more. Nowadays they make lots of Facebook videos, pranks, and also whatever. So just now, analyze the situation. 5 minutes back, when you saw that your brand new iPhone 11 Pro is broken, you felt so bad, so angry, you were crying or you were screaming like anything. Now after 5 minutes, when you came to know that no, it's not mine. Mine one is intact. It's a dummy. Somebody else a dummy thing. You felt relieved. Oh, thank God, it's not mine. So this main point here is this identification of me and mine. This is my phone. The moment you thought that this is mine, you felt so bad. And the moment you thought, oh, it's not mine, Oh, I'm happy. I'm relieved. So this is the point actually in this entire material world. The world is going on based on this. Janasya mohoyam aham mameti, Srimad Bhagavatam says. Aham mameti, it's me and mine. Me, my father, my brother, my sister, my daughter or son, wife, and then my iPhone, my bike, my house, my property. Everything me and mine. So because we identify everything with me and mine, therefore, we find all this happiness and miseries. So this happiness and miseries lies on me and mine. So this is called spiritual perspective of life. How we can go above this me and mine. How can we go above this? That is the question we should get. Some people, situations are coming to each and everyone, like this coronavirus or whatever. Everything is coming to different people. But definitely you go and find it's not the same. It depends on the reaction, the response of the people. Like all the motivational speakers, they try to motivate us. Okay, this happened, that happened, fine. But actually this motivation comes from this, that we need to have the source of motivation. Think everything positively from this positive perspective. So how come that positive perspective come? We need to connect with something supremely positive. Then only everything can become positive around us. If we have 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, for example, I hope you are seeing me. For example, if we have 0, 0, 0, I can have thousands, millions of zeros also. I can have millions of zeros, no value. But the moment I put a 1 here, everything becomes valuable. So actually, truly speaking, in our life, everything is 0 actually. Ultimately, from ultimate perspective, we will not be able to take anything with us. No matter I can be Bill Gates or whoever, Mukesh Ambani or whoever, the richest man on this earth or planet, the globe, whatever. But I cannot take anything with me. The Emperor Alexander, he said that when I die, he told his ministers and all that when I die, I have 3 wishes. First of all, when they carry me, my dead body, the 4 person they carry, na? So the 4 person should be 4 doctors, best of the doctors. 4 best of the doctors should carry me. And then when they will carry me, both my hands should be outside, should be seen outside. And you should throw and like gold and all while taking the procession. They asked, why this peculiar desire? Said, yeah, 4 best of the doctors should carry my dead body so that people understand that the King Alexander, Emperor Alexander, the conqueror of the earth or all the countries, while dying, even the best of the doctors could not save him. And secondly, the richest man of the earth, of course, he owned all the places, conquered everything. He's going empty-handed. Both hands are empty. He's sin. And all these gold, jewels, everything could not save him. So all these things are 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, because we cannot take them with us. There was one person, one king was there. He was so arrogant, so proud of his wealth, riches. He thought, I am so rich, wealthy person. I don't need to depend on anyone and everyone. I can just do anything and everything. So one sadhu came to him, and the sadhu could sense the arrogance and pride of this king. So the sadhu asked the king, my dear king, can you help me? Okay, I can help you. Yeah. I am a king. I keep on donating to people, and I help people depend on me. I like people being dependent on me. Ask help from me. Ask what you want from me. I'll give you benediction or whatever you want from me. So the sadhu said, I have a problem. What problem? I have a small needle. I hope you understand what is needle. Like we see with the cloth and all. Small needle. He said this needle is so tiny, so thin that I often misplace it, lose it. Can you keep it intact with you? Save it, keep it with you, protect it? Of course, I can keep inside all this nice locker and nice safest place. I can keep it, no problem. Then yeah, please keep it in a safe place. And another thing, once you die, you're going to heaven. So then when I go there, and I also go to heaven, we'll meet there with each other. At that time, please give that back to me. I will need that at that time there. Can you give it to me at that time? So the king was thinking, he was in great anxiety. He said, my dear saint, what are you saying? How can I take this needle with me to heaven? I don't know. First of all, I don't know when will I die, where will I die. Secondly, I don't know whether my relatives will be near me also or not. I may go to the jungle and die sometime. And I don't know if who will cremate me or do the funeral ceremony of me. So what will I take? I don't know how to take it. So then the sadhu said that, my dear king, this is the point I want to tell you, convey to you, that when you don't know how to take a small needle with you after life, after death, then why are you being so proud of all these things? Of course, you have all these things, fine, but don't be proud of these things. So all these things are ultimately zero unless and until we have the one in the beginning. So that one is what we need to understand. One is that which is eternal, which is not perished, which is never ever destroyed. That one we need to search for. The zeros, everybody can get it. But that one is difficult to find. So that we will come to know, we'll discuss about in the next class based on the first chapter 1. Chapter 1 is entitled as we are not these bodies. We are not these bodies. First of all, I can ask any of you, like we ask like this. For example, can any of you turn on your video? Anybody? You just turn on your video. Yeah, okay. Sai Raghav has turned on it. Can you unmute yourself?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you point out at your eyes? Just point out your eyes.
Yeah, I can point out my eyes.
Okay. And I want you to select that this is my eyes. I'll ask you, where is your eyes? You show that this is my eyes. Huh?
Yeah.
Where is your eyes?
This is my eyes.
Okay. Where is your nose?
This is my nose.
Where is your lips? Where are your lips? Can you speak?
Yeah, these are my lips.
These are your lips. Where is your head?
This is my head.
Okay, fine. Now the question is, always you are saying that this is my head, my lips, my ears, my nose. If these are your lips, your ears, your nose, then who are you? That means, can you think of this sentence? My eyes, my head, my nose, my lips. That means I am different from this nose and lip and all these things. This is my son, this is my phone, this is my laptop, this is my bike, this is my house. That means I am different from this house and bike, isn't it? I am a different person from this bike, house, and all these things. Similarly, when I said this is my nose, my eyes, my head, who am I then? Who are you then? So this is the question. Yeah, this is the question we should ask ourselves, and we should find it from the chapter 1. And we request you all, please go through this chapter 1, read it, and I will send you by Tuesday or Wednesday. I will send you the questionnaire Google form based on this chapter. It's just easy thing. You have to read this chapter and find it out the answer, and MCQ or fill in the blank. It's easy thing. Why it is so? Because it will make you, it will force you to read that particular, focus on that particular concept. Particular concept of what is this. We may just casual reading, just go and read. But when we solve the answers, the questions, give the answer, then it makes us think about that. Okay, this is the particular concept. We don't miss it. So it's very good. We hope all of you participate in that. And although in the WhatsApp group we have around 50 people are there, but I wanted it more committed, like those who will attend in this. Actually, we have just recently started a new thing, new way. I can show you. This is called, of course, till now it's mainly I'm doing the Bengali group. It's called chatushpati.com. Pratattva Chatushpati. Chatushpati means a school or institute, academy for study. Traditionally, the Vedic schools are called Chatushpati. We call it Pratattva Chatushpati. And we are going to have different courses here, Shastric courses, language courses here. So this particular thing, we are going to have one of the course under this Chatushpati. And I hope you participate in these 6 sessions. And then we can have certification also. We can have certification also based on this. So from next class, I want some committed people, like those who will definitely, surely they will attend throughout these 6 sessions. And maybe in fact, we can have a separate group also. Those who are committing themselves to attend in that, only with this 10, 12, 15 people, whatever. And maybe we'll have a short attendance also, those who are attending in this and participating in this question answers. We can have certification based on that. So thank you very much, all of you, for participating in this. And today internet was a little bit poor. I hope next day I'll try to figure it out some other thing also. Anybody like to say anything? Maybe Shripati Prabhu, you can say something, bro. Yeah, Partha, you want to say something?
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yeah,
I know you are a very busy person, so you have given us some time. So that's why we feel very lucky to get you with us. So I think today we have a great evening and we enjoyed a lot. So for all of them, I'm thanking you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, all of you, for participating here. Shripati Prabhu, you would like to say something, bro?
Actually, the pattern of your class is very interesting, and it helps to remember the important points in whatever proper books they read. Actually, so I find that it's very interesting and very in a useful way they are able to read the books. Actually, thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much. So next Sunday, same time, 7 o'clock, and then you decide. You all decide that how to do, like how many of you will join, commit to it for 6 sessions, will participate in it. Then if needed, we can have maybe another dedicated committed group also. In that group I can share. Okay, so we end here. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Thank you, Guruji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.